Well, hello everybody. How are you? Great to be here as always. Sunday, very unusual. I do anything on a Sunday. I've actually been working all day. Literally come through the door, had a shower, and popped on here to do a recap for you guys from last night's webinar, May the 3rd, with our CEO Ash Mufarah. Today is Sunday the 4th. Hope you're having a good day wherever you are. And I always like doing a recap because whenever we see our CEO, I always write notes as he is speaking so that I can try and put them into more understandable language so that it helps you guys out there. I do my best, and remember, a bit of a disclaimer, that this is a lot my own opinion of how I've interpreted what he is saying. And always, I do know that Ash reaches out to me to clarify anything that if I'm a little bit wrong or off the mark, he always does reach out for me and to let me know so I can clarify it with you. Colonel Daniel Lee, that's very kind. Thank you so much for your super sticker. That's very kind. Okay, one thing as well. As I'm always writing, my favorite pen broke yesterday about 3/4 of the way through. Gutted, because it's the one that I've been using all the time, so I had to go on to a new one. Anyway, I'd like to start, as always, to how did I think our CEO looked and kind of that vibe that he was giving off. I thought that he was relaxed. I thought you can tell if he's relaxed because generally speaking, when people are online and they're relaxed, they tend to sit back a little bit more and, they lean to one side or whatever it may be. He looked very relaxed, didn't he? If people are a little bit more serious, they tend to be leaning forward into the camera. Um, I certainly get the impression from him that he is determined to clarify what he's been saying over the last couple of weeks so that we all understand exactly what is going on. And I'm going to go over quite a lot of this as we go through this recap. Um, but one thing's for sure is I really felt the excitement of what is going to be coming from what he was saying. And even though you guys haven't seen the recap or the Q&A part after he did it, I have taken a couple of notes on some of the things he said, and I will bring those up as well at the end of this recap. So anyway, let's get started. Remember, disclaimer once again, this is my interpretation. It is how I've viewed it. I have taken extensive notes, and I'm certainly that I am going to stick to the narrative of what our CEO was saying today. So let's get started then. Here we go. He says it's great to be here again and to see the new faces that were on the panel. As we saw, there was many new people there as well. He said, obviously, praise to our brother Marty DeGarmo, who actually came on as well, and for the work that he'd done whilst he was in hospital to get the links up there and running for everyone to view it on the YouTube channels. He started off as he meant to go on. How do I know this? Because he told us straight off the bat, we've got good and bad news today. I thought that was very important, that he wasn't going to be cutting anything away from what he was saying. He wanted to be right up front from the beginning of what this meeting was about. And he said that there is good news and bad news. And he said, there's never any bad news from his point of view, because there is no bad news in business. There's only problems in business. But he did go on to say that spiritually and mentally, he says he is extremely high at the moment. And when he meant by high, he didn't mean from a alcohol kind of a way. He meant from where he is, euphoria of what is coming, that is giving him a massive high at the moment. Vivine Benny, thank you so much, my darling, for your super sticker and lovely words. I'll leave that up there for a while. That's very kind of you for your super sticker. He said he wanted to do a bit of clarification, okay, with what was going on at the moment. He wanted to elaborate more on the darker sides of things that will be coming as we are moving forward. And he wanted to clarify what that plan was. He said one of the main strategies is we will no longer tell you, he said, what might be happening, but tell you when it has happened. I really felt that this meeting was all about a lot of clarification. Now, for those that have been following what's been happening within the two webinars that we've had previously, we know a lot of what he was saying yesterday we'd heard before. But I really got the impression that he wanted to hammer home exactly where we are and what is happening to move to the next phase. In fact, he was almost quite blunt to a point so that people really did understand exactly what was going on. And I'm certainly not going to hold back on any of what I'm saying either. Why? Because I think for those that maybe English is not their first language, sometimes to be blunt and to be the point really is the only way for people to understand. We will get into that a bit more as we move on. So he said, we will tell you when we are actually ahead of what we are already telling you. What does that really mean in English? In the past, a lot of mistakes have been made where he's been told something's going to be ready. He's given it an extra long time because to allow for anything wrong to happen. But that's backfired on him, whether it be through technical problems, whether it be through things that are out of his control, or whether it just be that the people aren't up to the job. And this is made really that element of soon and that element of next week or in a month's time all fade into insignificance because it's lost that meaning. So moving forward, and we've said and talked about all of this, is about learning from things that have gone wrong to make sure they are not going to happen again. And this is exactly one of these things. He's telling us that he's not going to tell us something is ready until not only what he's telling us is ready, and that's what we're hearing about, but also 2 or 3 other things that are actually ready that he has not even told us about. So this is where he wants to clarify that moving forward, there's not going to be this is coming, that is coming, and we are going to be doing this. None of that. It's going to be do this, go there, you'll see this, so that everybody will know at the same time what it is, where it is, and how to go about getting whatever it is. We will only say this so that you know exactly what's going on. So if he's talking about number 2, number 5 is already done. If he's talking about number 10, number 15 is already done, etc. So as of now, I've told you, I haven't even told you about step 1. Now I'm going to clarify and say that again. Remember, we have been telling you about what's the next step, what we're going to do moving into the next phase. None of that's even happened. We haven't even started step 1. Everything, the last three webinars that we have had with Ashmu Farah, what is it doing? It is preparing us. It's getting us ready. I had a quick chat with Chris this morning. I said, I'm going to bring up this example for exactly what this means. If you're a farmer and you have a plot of land and you let it go, right? What's going to happen to it? It grows weeds, it gets overrun, it's got all sorts of different flowers and shrubbery and different plants all over the place. It looks a mess. Some are high, some are small, some are overrun in one corner, some aren't even growing in another, and it looks a complete mess. What does that farmer do when he wants to utilize that area for something else? What does he do? 9 times out of 10, he'll either plow it all over, or sometimes They stick a load of Roundup on it and kill absolutely everything off and leave it for 4 to 6 months. Let it all die off. And then what's he do with it? He then plows it all back in. He puts nutrients into it. He tills the land. He gets it. He prepares it. He then leaves it for another period of time. Then he will sow it. Then he will water it. Then he will prepare it for exactly what he wants. This is a little bit what's happening now. Our old Onpassive at the moment is fallow. It's been left. It's getting overrun and moving and all the rest of it. Nothing's happening with it. But what he is preparing is so much better. We've got a better crop that is going to be sown in that area. So what he's doing at the moment really is preparing us all for what is going to be happening. Chris did a really good analogy with the cups today about one company and the next company and stuff within the one company, and we're going to be putting new stuff in the next company. This is kind of what I'm trying to say here. So why haven't we even started step one? Because we are preparing you for that transition into next stop. Even though as a company, we are ahead of all of that, of what he's talking about right now, he is actually giving us number one, even though they are working on number 5. But we haven't even started step one. So he's preparing us and getting us ready for the next part. Now, I said before, I thought that this webinar was all about reiteration, clarification, so that we all know exactly what is going on. We really need to start mentally understanding that Onpassive as a shell is still there. Can we log in to that area? Yes, we can. Is it active? Yes, it is. Do we get updates in that area? Yes, we do. But can we use it? No, we can't. Is all the information still there? Yes, it is. Is our wallet still there? Yes, they are. But can we use any of it? No, we can't. But it's still there. What we are going to is going to be far better than what we are leaving. And this is what we need to start understanding, is that what was is still there, but it's not what we're going to use. We're going to be using something else that's going to be completely different, brand new. Our CEO said it. The only thing that's moving to the next phase is him and his name. None of the coding, none of the products, nothing is moving from there to here. Let's not worry about the semantics. Let's not worry about details. Let's not worry about, but what about this? Is that going to happen? Are we going to get this? It doesn't matter at the moment. All that matters is we are preparing for that transition. Everything will become apparent. Everything we'll find out what is going on. But we need to understand that what was, but what is coming is better. So focus, he says, onto what steps we will have to take moving forward. Not what we can do, not what we can't do, what could be, what can't be. They are just immaterial to what is going to be happening. Try and think in your head, I'm going to something better. I'm going to have something better than what was before. This is where we need to understand. Don't worry about, am I going to make any money from it? Don't worry about, can I sell this thing? Don't worry about, is this going to happen? Remember, our CEO will do everything in his power to the maximum of his ability to make sure that we are the main beneficiaries of everything that happens in this next phase. Without him giving us any more details, he can't be clearer to say that you guys are going to be absolutely fine. Don't worry. what you're going to see, what you're going to have is going to be way better than what you had before. He can't say that because he hasn't told us what is going to be happening yet. But I'm telling you, from what he has been saying, it's going to be better. And when he says it's going to be better, that means that we will be the beneficiaries from it. He said, we have been clarifying what has happened over the last few webinars. So let's not assume, because no one actually knows what the next stage is going to be. Nobody. You can put out on the internet names you think it might be. You can put out on the internet that you're going to have to do that. You're going to have to do this. You're going to lose that. You're not going to get that. Nobody knows anything. Nobody. Because he's not told anybody. All he just said is, I'm telling you this, it's going to be fantastic. It's going to be way better than ever that you think it could have been. He says there is many updates to mention, but detached from all of the past. He says where we are going is totally different. So let's try and shift that mindset of what's happening in Onpassive. Are we going to get this? Are we going to get that? What about this? Let's move our mindset from that to how am I going to prepare for this next phase? What am I going to do? I talked about luck is not a strategy on Friday. And by the way, our CEO watches all of the lives. He reports back to me and lets me know, etc. I know that he's strategizing exactly what he's going to be doing moving through this phase into what is coming. But what are you doing to strategize your business of what you're going to be doing? Are you going to allow it to luck? Are you just hanging about? Are you going to just go, oh, wait and see? Or are you actually doing something about it? This is what he wants us to do. He wants us to shake off the old and prepare for the new, that new growth, the new plantation. We're done with what was there before in the ground. We've got a new crop that we want to cultivate. We want to nurture. We want to make sure that we can bring it on to be the best crop that everybody wants. We then talked a little bit about SpaceX, and I talked about this the other day as well, and how Elon Musk had many failures when he was doing the heavy lifting of the rockets for what we all see now and literally take for granted. I mean, this guy has really taken space to a whole new level by the booster rockets not being ejected and falling to earth or burning up. They come down on their own and land upright where they're meant to, so they can reuse them again. Unheard of. But did it happen overnight? He had many failures. In fact, it almost broke him after he sold out from PayPal. He was going to buy Russian ones. They were too expensive, so he decided to make his own. Did it happen first time? No. Did it happen the second time? No. Third time? No. Fourth time, if it hadn't have gone right, it's all gone. All that money, all those millions wasted. But each time there was a failure from the rocket, guess what? They started from a point of knowledge, a point of knowing a little bit more. They had more data. They had more analysis of what went wrong. So they made sure that part didn't go wrong again. Don't you think this happens in business? Don't you think that mistakes are made all the time in business? Don't you think that the main important thing is to keep moving forward, to learn from what has gone wrong so that you make sure it doesn't happen again? This is exactly what is happening with us and our business, regardless of what it's going to be, regardless of the semantics, the dots, the T's, the crossing of the I's and crossing of T's, dotting of I's, and all the little bits in between. They are immaterial to exactly what is going to be happening. So he said, let's focus, right, on learning from things that have gone wrong to make sure we start from a point of knowledge to make sure it doesn't happen again. I firmly believe that what we have learned is invaluable to the next phase. I really think that it's going to give us that edge, because if it hadn't have happened when it did, and say for instance Onpassive had gone a year, 2 years down the line, we're all making a bit of money, the company's making a bit of money, we're all whoop whoop, we're going there, everything's going fine, and the people who robbed us, they double robbed us, they triple robbed us, they took all our money, we're dead in the water because everything has gone. Our livelihoods, our money we thought was there, the income, it's all gone overnight because somebody has wiped us out. But because when it happened, it didn't work like that. The governmental department in the EAU froze the assets. It hasn't gone, it's still there. But yes, there is the way that we could get it all back. Our CEO has said on many times, he wants to make sure that anything owed is sorted and we get what we deserve. Is it going to happen next week? No. Is it going to happen in a month? No. 3 months? Maybe. A year? I don't know. But one thing's for sure is he is determined to have Onpassive, as we know it now, clean, zeroed out, everybody is where they should be. One interesting point that he did bring up, and I'm getting off track a little bit from what he said. One interesting point he did say that only 5% of the affiliates were owed any commission. 5% out of all of the people that were there, only 5%. Yes, the remainder had purchased OConnect. Yes, the remainder had used OConnect and they'd bought it so that they could resell it or make a profit from it or whatever. But they never actually made any commissions that they could draw out. So it's such a small percentage that actually really have got an axe to grind as far as where's my money. So what I say to everybody, and especially that 95% who haven't even earned anything anymore, is be excited for what is going to happen. Don't linger on the past. Don't surmise that it's going to be a revamped version of what you know. No, it's not. This is brand spanking new, fresh, dynamic, revolutionary, what we're going to. And this is what we need to focus on. He said, I've said many times that I didn't sign off because it wasn't good enough. This was part of the delays. Our CEO always wants the best products, the best for us, the best of everything. And it wasn't good enough. And this made a lot of delays. He said, is there a risk of failure because he brings in something that's not quite ready? Yes, there is. So he took the decision to give us things before they were perfect, because you have to actually start somewhere and learn kind of as you go. If things don't work, guess what you do? You learn from that, you tweak things, and then you move on to the next one. This was a bit of a work in progress type of thing. It's not where he wanted to be. It's not how he wanted to do, but he had to make the decision to start where it was. If you remember, when we first got Trim, not very good. It got a lot better. If you remember, when we first got Mail, not very good, but it got better. If you remember, when we first got Connect, not very good, but it got better. This was all part and parcel of signing it off just to get started, but it wasn't exactly where he wanted it to be. But he had to start to get it going. The main thing is to try it. He didn't like using the word fail because it wasn't a failure. It just wasn't working how we wanted to, but it has to go so that we can move forward. As in the rockets for SpaceX, you've got to shoot one up in the air to see if it works or not. And guess what? If it doesn't, right, let's get back to that drawing board. Let's sort out what hadn't gone wrong and let's go again. This is exactly where the most important thing to do is to keep moving forward. Because if you don't, it's pretty simple. Pack up and you go home and it is no more. None of us want that to happen. So he compromised. Like I said, yep, let's go with this one in the knowledge that it might not actually work. But we had to go to step one before we could go to step two. So did the first launch work correctly? No, it didn't. Did the second one? No, it didn't. But things got a lot better. And it's just technical things, really, that you have to sort out to make it go forwards. So we learned as we went, okay, time and time again, and then it all got shut down because of other people. The biggest downside of what happened was that, in essence, our rocket blew up and we couldn't reuse it again. When everything got shut down, when everything went completely haywire, it's like the rocket blowing up. You look it on the ground, it's a wreck, and you say, can we fix it? Sorry, boss, it's gone. There's no coming back from this. This actually was a good thing. This made and took decisions out of his hands because there was only one option. And that was, guess what? Build another. Luckily, not only was he trialing what we've already got, prototype in the back, better, new technology, things that he was working on in the background. So he changed direction completely. Look at it like a rocket that's got 3 fins, you know, like this. That's not the way to go. We're going to design it so that it's got 1 fin and a little bit round the top that make it more aerodynamic, it costs less and reusable, all whatever it may be. This is exactly what it happens. Sometimes things happen out of your control that make you change direction. And guess what? The new direction's a hell of a lot better than the old direction, even though you thought the old direction was the right direction. Our CEO, if you go back, and he talked about in the Q&A afterwards about the audio videos that first came out, a lot of people were mentioning it. He'd mentioned in those audios his overall plan. I firmly believe now that that plan, what he had in 2018 from those audio videos, is what is going to be implemented moving forward. So it's crucial that we change. Without change, guess what's going to happen? It's going to blow up again. Without changing what we did, it's going to happen again. So we need to change not only direction, but also with what we're using. This is why he says nothing from Onpassive is going to be here in the next phase. Only him. No coding, no products. Everything is going to be brand spanking new. And he said, the thing that went wrong didn't succeed in the first place. It's all part of the journey. This is a part of the overall trials of business. It happens all the time. The vision is still there, and that is what we keep trying to achieve. Having that goal, having that decision, and fighting tooth and nail to get to that point, to achieve it, is the thing that makes people successful. It actually doesn't matter how many times it doesn't work, because people only remember that one time that it does work. There's so many examples that you can get of successful people, entrepreneurs, inventors that try until it succeeds. But you only remember them for that success. You can't remember how many times they've tried it and not worked. And this is where the people who do succeed separate themselves from the people who turn away. Some important things came out relating to this in the meeting. He said, imagine if it all went wrong down the line. I told you about that. We wouldn't have been able to get away from it. When you are building any business, there is never any guarantee of success. So many things happen along the line. To move on, you have to have a better mindset than anybody else. You have to think differently from other people. There is no shortcuts to a business and how it evolves, how it matures, how it moves through its trials and tribulations. You have to work and go through these things to get to the success part. Is it painful going through these things? Absolutely. Does it hurt the business? Absolutely. But is it worth it? Absolutely. But you can't just go from A to B without ups, downs, rocky roads, getting knocked off, getting back on again, and all the rest of it. You have to go through these things so that you know that you have been successful because of those trials that have been put in front of you. He said, we've also got good news. We have been tested, but we have a bigger vision and a bigger goal because of the people we now have in the business. The ones that truly believe, the ones that are still here, the ones that know that where they are is the right choice for them, for what they want in their lives, those are exactly the people that our CEO wants with him in the next phase. If you're unsure, if you don't believe, if you can't see the vision, if you're on the fence, if you're sucking it in seeing, we actually don't want you. Thanks very much. Have a nice time. Go and find something else to do. We want the people who want this as bad as he does. We want the people who have got that drive, that passion to go through the hard times, to go through the tough, to get to the success. That's who we want. The believers, the go-getters, the entrepreneurs, the ones that really do believe that our CEO is the person that they want to follow. We don't want the freeloaders. We don't want the seeing how it goers. We don't want the ones who have lost hope, who have lost interest, who have lost that belief in what is going to happen. We want the true people who are behind our CEO. And do you know something? If that turns out to be 100, 200, 1,000, 10,000, 100,000, whatever that number becomes, that's who he wants with him. He doesn't want people that aren't sure, because it doesn't help them and it certainly doesn't help the company. He said, what if I told you that we are not going to be using OConnect in the next phase? Are you going to be upset by me saying that? Are you going to be shocked if I'm telling you we're not going to use OConnect? Well, the obvious answer to that is, yeah, most of us would be shocked. Why aren't we using OConnect? It was a great product. I liked it. It worked well. It was a good video conferencing platform. So why wouldn't we use it? Well, the answer is because what I'm going to show you is actually something that is 300 times better than what that was. What would you say now when I'm telling you that what is going to be there is loads better than what OConnect was? Does it matter what it's called? Does it matter how it works? Does it matter if it is maybe an amalgamation of a few things all packed into one that nobody has ever seen, nobody's ever used? It's brand spanking new. Are you going to be excited about it? I know I certainly are. I know it's something that's going to really be something I can get my teeth into, and especially if nobody has seen it and everybody wants to have it. Do you think you'll be able to resell that to somebody? Do you think you'll be able to make commissions on that to somebody? I know I can. What happens if this new thing that I'm telling you about has got the potential to overtake Zoom, to shake up the existing norm of video conferencing? Would you be a little bit excited? I would be. And this is what we're trying to tell you, that what we are going to be seeing in this next phase is brand new. It is exciting. It is exhilarating, higher tech, new ideas, all married into all sorts of things that we haven't even seen or heard of yet. All of these eliminate what we have embraced right now. Sorry, emulate what we are embracing right now. We've worked on them in the background to make a disruptive, affordable, higher tech, humanitarian and technical journey to this next phase. I want to go there. I want to be part of whatever it is. If all of these things, what he's talking about, are going to be there in this next phase, I want to be part of it. You want to be part of it. Why wouldn't you want to be part of it? Why wouldn't you want to be part of something that is brand spanking new? How many times do you hear the expression, I wish I was there at the beginning. I wish I'd got in there when it first started. This is that opportunity. Get in there when it first started. The existing business of Onpassive as we know it is still there. But is it usable? No, it's not. We are going to be going to a brand new business in this next phase. What's it going to be? No idea. Is it going to be better than what was? Absolutely. And that for me is all I need to know. He also talked about your choice to go there. He said, when you listen to negativity, when you maybe get steered in a wrong direction, all this does is steal your dreams. It steals your goals of what you are trying to achieve. It certainly doesn't inspire you to want to better yourself. Why haven't you, or why can't you just have the choice to do what you want to do without somebody trying to change that choice? You're a big boy, you're a big girl, make your own decisions. Just because somebody is telling you something negative, something's not right and something's not wrong, and I've seen this and I've got information for that and all the rest of it, is that going to help you achieve your dreams and your goals? Well, the answer to that is no, it's not. Ash Mufareh is there telling you, I've got this, I've got your back. I'm going to give you something that you can utilize to change your life. That's inspiring. That really is going to change your life. Somebody being negative to you isn't going to change your life. In fact, it's probably going to make your life worse because you're going backwards. You're not going forwards. Remember, when things go wrong, you fall forward from it. Don't fall back, fall forward. Brush yourself off, learn from it, go again. Keep on learning as you go. He said, I'd actually love you if you are leaving, but I don't like you if you are here to make a noise. What you are doing really is stealing somebody else's dreams. By all means, go. It's absolutely fine. But don't make a noise about it. You're not saving people. You're not helping people. You are just disgruntled, non-believing. Well, that's absolutely fine. That's your choice. But it's also our choice to do what we are doing. So if you are one of the people who want to change your lives, to believe that there is something possible through our CEO and the next phase that is going to change your life, then you hang on to it. Don't let anybody steal that away from you. If you don't believe, then that's fine. But I don't want to try to change others because it's their choice. This is what I've been trying to say for an awful long time. I've mentioned about choices in my past videos. I think it's important that we understand that our choice is not everyone's choice, but it doesn't make us wrong or them right. It's just a choice. So if you are one of the people who don't believe, fine, that's your choice, but that's not mine. He said a lot of people are attached in some way to the name Onpassive and all the things and the brands that are all part of Onpassive. He said we are moving to something completely different. It's not going to be the same as what it was. We really need to detach ourselves from the Onpassive mentality. We need to get through to as many people to stop saying, when can I use OConnect again? What about my links in OTrim? What about OMail? Are we going to have this? Can I still use that? Where we're going is brand new. How it's all going to happen, what we've got to do, we'll find out. But one thing's for sure, there's no need to worry. Why? Ashmi Farah's got our back. He's going to do something for us that is better than it was before. He mentioned if there's a blocked road to get to a new destination, guess what? We have to change that direction to get to it. He said, I am obligated to take you. He said, I am not obligated, to take you to the next phase. He actually said, I don't owe anybody anything to take you to the next phase. He said, Onpassive kind of blew up on takeoff and not launch. But he said, I wanted you to understand that I wasn't going to give up. The next chapter is not an investment, he said. The next chapter, there is no invites to it. He said, the next chapter, there is no hype to it. I only want people who believe in me and believe that what is going to happen is going to be better than what was before. He also said, I haven't told you this, but he also knows some really heavy hitters within the internet space, some master marketers. He said, none of these people that I do know, I haven't even invited to anything that I've done yet. They weren't invited to Onpassive. He wasn't down the road of inviting them to it at the stage. But he has said that this next phase is going to be something that he is going to share with them. He said there is no obligation for you to come to phase 2. It is a choice, but it has to be the right choice for you and for what you want. If you don't choose, that's absolutely fine. Don't come. Nobody's making you come. But it has to be the right choice. He said, we will do everything in our power to make things right in the old Onpassive. He talked a little bit about how the money was frozen and there is money from the commissions, which is all of ours, that is tied up there. He said, every effort is being made to recover that money. If it's recovered, fantastic. Everybody gets it straight back, what they're owed, no problem. But it is a process that has to be done. The SEC are involved, government departments are involved, etc. All of this has to be done. So please remember that it's your choice to move forward. Now, there was an important part of the Q&A that I think you guys need to know before the recording comes out, and that was about marketing. Now, I mentioned it to Ash that a topic that we haven't really talked about is about how good he is at marketing. It was the one thing when I Googled him back in 2018 that came up. And by the way, in 2018, when I Googled Ash Mufareh, there was nothing but praise about this guy. But one of the things that stuck out more than anything was how good he was at marketing. Now, I asked him this question on the Q&A, and he was really open and honest about it. He said that over the last 5 years, how we market in the internet world has completely changed. How we market generally has completely changed. If you remember the old days of adverts in papers, on TV, email marketing, funnels, all sorts of things. All these kinds of things worked really well 5, 6, 7 years ago, but not anymore. AI is the way to go for marketing. He says that he's been working behind the scenes with people with ideas about marketing. And he went into quite a lot of detail that you need to listen to when you hear it about how revolutionary what he's got is going to be. He said, everybody wants more traffic. Everybody, whether it's individuals, whether it's businesses, whether it's governmental departments, whether it is profile people, whether it's Instagrammers, whether it's TikTokers, Facebookers, every single person from the top to the bottom want more traffic. That is eyes on what you are doing, saying, selling. He has got something that nobody else has even used yet. He's got something that he's been working on that is going to revolutionize marketing using AI. Don't you think that what he talked about marketing combined with the new phase, the new products, whatever they're going to do, all of that all marrying together, don't you think it's going to be something that is going to be pretty important and pretty impressive? I certainly think it's going to be amazing. So I am trying to say here, what we don't know doesn't matter. What we've been told from our CEO is so important. Let's ditch the mindset of old. Let's brush it off. Let's put the weed killer on it. Get ready for the next planting, the better crop, the one that's going to be more resilient, the one that's going to sell better, the one that the people are going to want more than the old crop. This is where we're at the moment with our phase and our journey. Get yourself ready, be inspired, by the ones that are telling you positivity about what is going on. Listen to our CEO and listen again and listen again. There is no confusion on what's happening here, guys. What was. Is it still there? Yes, it is. Can we access it? Yes, we can. Can we use it? No, we can't. What we're going to is what we're going to be using. That is where we need to focus now. What is going to be there? And that is exactly where I hope all of your focus is going to lie. Anyway, guys, that's it from me today. Irina Stexala, thank you so much for your super sticker. I hope that has gone some way to help you understand a little bit of what went on yesterday in my words. I try my very hardest to stick to the narrative of what our CEO has said. I try and read between the lines of where he wants the information and direction he wants to go. If anything I've said is off mark, he will contact me and I will let you know. But that's it from me, guys. Have a great rest of the day. Tomorrow, Monday Fun Day. Ooh, might be late. No, what time are you on tomorrow, Jane? 2, innit? You finished? Oh, no, we'll be back. So Monday Fun Day tomorrow is normal. At,
You're very tired.
If she's tired, I'll do it. Don't worry. Always here for you guys. Anyway, that's it from me, guys. Have a great rest of the Sunday. Heroes is on in 7 minutes time. Get yourself ready for it. All the normals will be there. I'm sure that maybe Marty Chris will be there, but certainly many of the OTEC pros, Comfort will be there as well. Pop along. It's on, I think, a few YouTube channels, and there's many links for it as well. Have a great day wherever you are. That's it from me. Bye for now.